You remember Nathan's call, all right? Set it up. So Nathan called in, and he was the first call on the show. And Nathan said, Ken, I took the Career Clarity Guide at kencoleman.com, and I've got my purpose sentence, and he read it to us. And basically, he wanted to solve problems for people in the situation of either inventing something, designing something, or fixing something. So he's going to use his head and his hands to solve problems for people. And he mentioned handicap community and being able to build, design, invent something to help that community. Okay. So he actually had a couple ideas that he wanted to invent. He had several. And I said, well, tell me just one. And he did. Now here's my point. This ties into the lesson. 3 words that will help you advance. You ready? Less is more. Less is more. Now, that's not a new phrase to many of you. In fact, it's actually out of context for a lot of you, because when you usually hear less is more, it's kind of somebody maybe a little bit loud in a public place, or maybe their clothes are a little garish, kind of, and less is more, hey, or public displays of affection. You get my point. We all kind of go, whoa, hey, less is more. If I'm a dad and I'm going my daughter's makeup, and thankfully my daughter's not that age. Hey, less is more. Okay. Less is more. Okay. You get it. But I really want you to have a different context here, that when you were looking at your career, you're looking at your professional career, and in Nathan's situation, okay, back to Nathan and how this helps out. Helps you see through somebody else's story. So Nathan wants to invent. So he had several ideas, and he gave me one, and my advice to him is just pick one, just one, and do it on the side. Don't put all of your eggs in that basket. Don't put all this unnecessary pressure on yourself to generate money from an invention. Let's just get after it. Let's fail a lot. Okay. Thomas Edison, how many times did he fail? Henry Ford, how many times did these great inventors fail before they succeeded? A lot. So don't put undue pressure on yourself. Okay. So in his situation, we apply less is more. So what do we say here? Well, he needs to be focused on one thing, not 3 things. So less becomes more because he's hyper-focused. So whatever your journey is professionally, well, Ken, I've got to get this experience, and I've also got to get this certification or this education. Okay, great. If it's going to really pressure you or spread you too thin to go after 2 things at once, don't. Less is more. Okay? I'm going to be hyper-focused. I'm going to do less, but as a result, I'm going to make more progress because I am really, really focused. And it's about momentum. Less is more. Dave Ramsey, head of Ramsey Solutions, my mentor. His baby steps, his debt snowball, which is baby step 2, after you save $1,000, his debt snowball is based on paying off the smallest debts and moving to the next largest debt. And for years, people were like, well, that's counterintuitive. And Dave's like, no, it actually isn't. It's less is more. What is Dave teaching? He's teaching hyper-focus on the smallest debt. That means we can knock it out faster. And then we check it off the list. What happens? We see progress faster. We feel better about ourselves. We experience momentum. We take the payment from that smaller payment. We roll into the next one. You get this. Less is more. There is this overwhelming human desire to get everything done right away as fast as possible. I struggle with this, I think, more than most people because I'm so driven and I'm so results-oriented, very results-oriented. And so if I'm not experiencing progress as fast as I envisioned, I actually can get down and then get distracted. We don't want to do that. So what have I learned? I've learned that less is more. I'm not going to try to get 6 projects done. I'm going to try to get 1 thing done and do that as diligently, as excellently as I can, knowing that I'm going to perform better, but I'm going to learn more when I fail and things like that. And then I go, okay, I take that experience and I move on to the next biggest priority. And I'm going to be all in on that priority and then all in on that priority. Folks, I'm in the middle of this right now. You can't believe the stuff we're dreaming about right now. You can't even believe it. Joe's got a shock thing on me right now because I can't say it. We are dreaming and scheming so many things to help you. And I've got a team, though, to help me. And so I've got to stay focused on the main things. Less is more. And so if you really grab that and go, okay, this is going to require a lot of patience and a lot of perseverance because it's going to take time. But guess what? If you spread yourself and your focus too thin, you're going to fall way behind anyway. And what you think was the slow way is you're going to come to the realization that the slow way is the only way. The tortoise always beats the hare in the story. The rabbit never wins. Why? The rabbit takes off, flying out of the gate, then gets distracted. Listen, it's okay. Embrace the journey. Less is more.